Hey y'all, Bridget Bartlett here with My Vision Agency, and today I want to show you how to use our content repurposing workflow inside of our AI coach, where you will be able to easily create a blog post, a YouTube script, an email newsletter, and social media posts that are on brand for your perfect avatar. Now, before we do this, you want to make sure that you have your brand playbook created. And you'll see that this is my brand playbook. This is really easy to create. You'll see if I go to edit here, all you need to do is paste in your brand website. It will actually generate your perfect clients. So what does your brand do? What's the biggest thing that your brand stands against? What's one thing you do best that your competitors don't do? What's one action you'd like your audience to take when they come to your website? We have the narrative here for your customer avatar, the pain points, positioning, elevator pitch, solution, call to action, risk of inaction. We have the generated taglines here. You also have your identity pillars and colors. This is all pulled in from your website and generated using all of the frameworks that are built in to the back end. Now, you can print this out and use this for other AI tools, but you can also use it for any of these features that we have built inside of the AI coach to help you with your brand and content creation. So once you've created that, you can go a step further and create playbooks for your different offers. So if you're an affiliate or maybe you have different services, you can actually get more granular and create those offers inside of your playbook. So the playbook is for your main business brand, and each offer is really specific to those different products or services that you provide. So going back up here to the Home tab, if we want to go to the workflows, you'll get back here to the content repurposing workflow. So I'm going to click here and walk you through the steps. Now, when we click on the workflow here, the first thing we want to do is choose the offer if you have one created. If not, it won't show up here. You do see this is optional, so we'll go ahead and click next. Now, you'll see that we can work through the different steps in this workflow, and this first step is to create the blog. Now, you can toggle this on if you want to use your brand playbook, which I highly recommend. So I'm going to keep that toggled on. You can choose your language here. You can choose from any of these languages. I'm just going to keep it on English. Again, you can choose your offer. This is optional again, but I am going to choose my offer because that is really best practice. So you can make sure to get it really targeted to that customer and their pain points. We also have the target audience here that it's pulled in from my playbook, and you'll see it explains the customer avatar. Jordan is a 34-year-old Black woman from Charlotte, North Carolina. She owns a small shop and has always dreamed of running her own software business, and so on. We can also choose the persona that we want to target, and we can toggle over these to see which persona that we want to choose. I'm just going to choose Danielle here. She is a 30-year-old white woman living in Raleigh, North Carolina. She owns a small boutique that sells handmade jewelry and gifts and so on. So we'll choose Danielle. Now here, we can choose what we want the blog to be about. We can type that in here. Busy entrepreneurs who need to start implementing AI and automation into their business processes. Or we could paste in the link here to a specific URL or upload a text file to scrape the content from that. I'm just going to go ahead and leave this typed in here. Then we could also add different keywords that we want to rank for. So I just added businesses, AI, automation. Make sure to put commas and spaces in there to separate them. Also, we can choose the tone of voice. Here I just chose humorous. But if I erase that, you can see all of the different options that we can choose from here. This time, let's just choose sassy. Okay, so now we have some different options here that it's given us to choose from. Read this before you Google. How do I set up AI? One more time. Don't call me a robot, but here's how automation became my secret weapon for sanity. Why chasing every shiny tool is killing your free time and what actually works, and so on. Let's just choose one here. And we could generate more if we didn't like it. And we could also write our own here. You can choose how many sections of your blog that you want to include. For the sake of time, I'm just going to say 4, and we can go ahead and click next. Okay, so now our blog has been generated. We have our title here. We have the content. If we scroll down, you see we have all of these beautiful titles. It actually looks really great. Here is where you want to edit the blog. So if you don't like any of this content, you can certainly come through and just edit and make it whatever you want to. You could also highlight a section here and then ask the AI what you would like to do to make any changes to the blog. Once you're happy with the blog, you want to go ahead and click Next. And you can export this blog as a PDF. Of course, you can save it and you can copy it and paste it into a Word document if you prefer. Now, inside of our tool suite, we do have a blog builder. So what's really cool about this is you can actually choose to publish this automatically to the blog suite. So you can select the author of your blog. You can choose the category of the blog, and you can choose the actual blog that you have built in your account. Now, when you click publish to your CRM, it's going to go ahead and create that blog post in the blog builder as a draft copy. So I'm going to click here to publish to the CRM, and let's go check out what that looks like. Okay, so you'll see when you go to sites and blogs, we have our blog here. So I'm going to go ahead and click there, and you will see that our blog has been added to the blog builder. If we want to edit this, all we need to do is click inside the blog, and you'll see our blog has been created. Now, if we want to remove some of these spaces, of course, that's easy to do. We can just click here and use any of these functions. And if we want to add any images to our blog, we can just click where we want the image to be added, click up here to insert image, and we could click here to add it from our image gallery to really customize the blog any way that we want to. Now, back inside of the AI Coach, we're going to go ahead and click Done. You'll see here, we're moving on to the YouTube script. So once again, we're going to choose if we want to use the brand Playbook, and I highly recommend that. We're going to choose the language here. We're going to choose our offer, which I'm going to keep it with the MVA program. We can choose our target audience. Again, we see Jordan, the 34-year-old Black woman from Charlotte. We can choose our persona here, so we can target the same type of persona, or we could actually choose a different one here. So maybe I wanted to speak to Marcus, a 36-year-old Latino man living in Houston, Texas. So we can select that there. What would you like your YouTube video to be about? We can say, why stop chasing every shiny tool that's killing your free time, and what actually works, which is relevant to the blog post that we just created. Of course, you could change this if you want to. We can add any keywords or key phrases that we want to target for this piece of content, or we could just keep that blank. Again, we want to put commas in between the different keywords. We could choose the tone of voice, which in this case, we could choose sassy, or we could choose one of these other options. Let's choose humorous this time. And we can choose how long we want our video to be. They do recommend a minimum of 10 minutes, but we could make it all the way up to 20 minutes here. We'll just keep it 10 minutes and next. So now we want to choose the title of our YouTube video, Automation Without Burnout. Can your business run itself so you can actually have a life? Step-by-step method for getting customers while you grill burgers. Tech that actually works and doesn't make you scream into a pillow. Let's go ahead and choose that one. Of course, we could generate more. We could write our own. I'm going to click Next. Okay, so now our YouTube script has been generated. So I just want to read to you just a little bit so that you understand how cool this is and how on brand this script actually is for you to start using. So the title is Tech That Actually Works and Doesn't Make You Scream into a Pillow. It starts out, I used to think that the secret to a stress-free business was downloading every new tool that popped up in my feed. Nope. All I got was more tabs than a library and a brain that felt like overcooked spaghetti. In the next 10 minutes, I'm going to show you exactly why chasing every shiny piece of tech is eating your free time and sanity, and what actually works if your goal is more freedom and less screaming into a pillow. You guys, that's so, so cool and right on with the title here. We also have the visual cues. So it says cut to a visual, a screen with 20 tabs open, sticky notes everywhere, and a coffee cup with send help written on it. This can actually be put into any of the AI tools, and you can actually use AI to create this entire video and all of the visuals included. I'm going to go ahead and click Next. And as long as you're happy with this, you can go ahead and select Done and create your video, or just put it to the side. You could export it as a PDF. So I'm going to go ahead and click Done and move on to the next step. So now we are creating the email newsletter. You can see we're moving right along in our workflow, and we're going to keep this as English. We're going to choose the MVA program as our offer. We're going to keep the same customer avatar. We're going to choose the same persona. What is your product? Join my vision agency to discover how to get sales in your sleep with our 4-hour workday strategy. Join for free, and so on. Let's see all of the benefits here. What does your special offer include? Features, 5 AI Ads Manager reseller licenses that can be white labeled, AI Tools Suite, Coach, Lead, Social Autopilot, Content AI, done for you systems. And you can see all of the benefits that it's pulled in from the brand playbook. List any proof points, social proof, testimonials, or case studies you have for your offer. This is optional. Anything specific you'd like to include in your newsletter. This is where I'd want to add whatever additional content. The readability, it is optional, but I do like to choose like at a 5th grade level. That's pretty standard, but you can choose any of these options listed here. So I'm just going to keep it 5th grade. And then we could choose the tone of voice. I have humorous here, but you can see again, we can choose any of these here. Let's just change this to inspirational and click next. Okay, so now we have the content of our newsletter. We have the subject, why chasing every shiny tool's killing your free time and what actually works. Hey, first name, some days, running your shop feels like a race you never signed up for. You started with a dream of building something that lasts, but now every week there's a new tech tool promising to save your business, and all it really saves is your free time right out from under you. So if I didn't like any of this, again, I could highlight it and I could ask AI what to do. I also have all of these editing features, which really make it nice to edit here and then just copy and paste into the newsletter editor. So once this has all been edited and you like what it looks like, go ahead and click next. And here again, we can save this, we can copy it, and we can export it as a PDF. So if I wanted to copy this, I can actually click done. So it's going to move on to the social media post. But before we do that, let's go ahead and go into our email marketing tool and send that email. So now you see I've gone to the marketing tab, emails, templates, and I'm just going to create a blank template. Let's use the design editor and we can paste in the content of our email. Now we can take the subject line here and delete that. And we want to put the subject line here in the settings. So we can just paste that in. Of course, we want to remove that. And we can go ahead and save. And if you want to replace this name placeholder, you can actually use the custom value that we have available. So I'm just going to delete that. Go up here to the custom values, choose contact first name. And then now it will say, hey, whatever their name is. Of course, you could go through here and edit this any way that you want to. Once you've designed this how you want, you can save that template and then you can send it to your list. Now back inside of the AI coach, we're on step 5, which is create a social media post. We want to choose the language that we want the post to be in. We want to pick our offer. Again, it's optional. We can choose our target audience. This is Jordan, the 34-year-old Black woman from Charlotte. We can choose our persona here. Let's go ahead and keep Danielle. We can select the channel that we want to post to. This is going to tell the system what format the post should be created in, even though we could schedule it to any other channel. Let's just choose Facebook here. We're going to select the Facebook page that I have connected to my account. So I'm going to just choose that. And we can name this project. Let's just call it Chasing Clients. Now we can add content here by typing it in, or we could click here to add it by URL or a text file. And here we can actually brainstorm different ideas for our content bucket. And you'll see we have educational buckets, informational buckets, inspirational buckets, entertainment buckets, and we can select any of these posts to put in those buckets and determine when we want to share that information. Now I could select all of these. I could select all in a specific bucket, or I can just select one. Now for the sake of this training, I'm just going to select one to save time, and we can scroll down to the bottom, click next. So now I want to generate that post. So the post has been created. I can read through and I can make any edits that I need. I can also choose what size of the image that I want it to create. Most cases, square is the best choice, but it just depends on the platform. We also have the prompt for the image, a cozy workspace with a laptop open to a simple user-friendly dashboard surrounded by handmade jewelry pieces, a coffee mug, and a notepad with doodles. We could change any of that we want to, and we could also select the style that we want the image to be created. So photorealism, pencil drawing, logos, oil paintings. We have all of these options here. So let's go ahead and select the storybook illustration and generate the image. Okay, so now our image has been created. Let's go ahead and click next. Yes, I'm sure. And you can see what our post is going to look like here. Now let's go ahead and go to the social planner. And if we scroll down here, you'll see the post that we created. Now you'll also see that we can sort those posts by the bucket that we want to schedule. So since this is my post here, I'm just going to go ahead and drag this into the slot for September 1st. And you'll see here, this is for Facebook, but I can select any of these options here. And then, of course, which account that I want that to be selected to. So if at this point I chose LinkedIn, I can actually select my profile on LinkedIn or my business page. I'm just going to keep this at Facebook. And then I can choose what date and time I want this to be posted on. So we'll just keep it that date and time and save. So once I am happy with the content that's been scheduled here, I can click here to schedule. And yes, I'm sure. We can go ahead and save this. Now, what's cool about this is once this has been scheduled here, you can actually come over to your social planner. So go to the marketing tab and social planner. I'm going to use the calendar view. And if we scroll down to September 1st or move over, you will see that post has been scheduled in your social planner inside of your account. Now, to sign up for our AI coach and all of our other tools, you can go to myvisionagency.com. You can actually get a free starter plan in our program if you create a high-level account here using my affiliate link. You can join here if you already have a high-level account. You will also receive a free starter plan if you decide to upgrade to the SaaS plan using my affiliate link as well, or you can choose one of the other plans we have to offer. If you're not quite sure what plan is right for you, or you just have questions about everything that we've discussed, feel free to go to the free community and register for access. You will get access to our live coaching and support 4 days a week. Thank you all so much for joining me today, and I look forward to working with you in open office hours. Go make your vision a reality.